You could say X marks the spot. Where these two X's go together on the edge of the dome is the North Breccia. The reason this is important is we have potential for tonnage, we have potential for grade, and we have the potential for large discoveries. Thus, it's a really exciting project we've drilled into.
Joining us for a conversation is Dr. John Mark Stouty, the CEO of Riverside Resources. Dr. Stouty, welcome to the show.
Wonderful to be on the show, Maurice.
Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Riverside Resources has some updates for shareholders on the Cecilia Gold Silver Project. Before we go on site, Dr. Stouty, please introduce us to Riverside Resources and the opportunity the company presents to the market.
Riverside is a prospect generator. We have projects in Canada and in Mexico, as well as royalties in the United States. By being a shareholder, you're exposed to the upside where partners are drilling on projects we own in many different locations, thus many chances for a big win.
Dr. Stouty, take us to Sonora, Mexico, and get us acquainted with the Cecilia Gold Silver Project.
I'd love to. Let me jump into a map here and show that. Here we have a map of Mexico, and the Cecilia project is in the northwest corner of Mexico, in the mining state of Sonora. Cecilia, near the border with the United States, is in a great location. This photo here of me out at site shows how wide open, expansive the project is. Zooming into the project area, here the Cecilia project in the middle of the photo is immediately to the east of one of Mexico's largest mining complexes, Cananea, that's operated for copper mining for over 100 years. To the north, Bisbee, another mining in Arizona that's mined for over 100 years. Douglas, a mining smelting center, it's been active for over 100 years. So right around these different mines, we have the Cecilia project. It's a great location. And we'll look in detail as we drill the geologic center. The rhyolite dome complex is the key target area that we have at the Cecilia project.
Riverside has recently conducted 2 successful drilling targets. Let's look at each one respectively, beginning with the North Breccia. What is special here, and why is this significant for shareholders?
The North Breccia, here in this map, the red area is the large dome. And you can see the blue lines are major structures and red lines are major structures. You could say X marks the spot. Where these two X's go together on the edge of the dome is the North Breccia. The reason this is important is we have potential for tonnage, we have potential for grade, and we have the potential for large discoveries. Thus, it's a really exciting project we've drilled into. The North Breccia here, shown on this diagram, comes up along the margin of the dome system. So this is where we're drilling. And then we look here at the drilling. The drilling specifically, hole number 5. In the press release, we talk about hole number 5, 24 meters of 1.5 grams gold near the surface. This is excellent for Riverside, working with our partner, Carlisle Commodities Corp., who are funding the program. And Riverside is the owner of the project and the operator doing the exploration. We're delighted to see this drilling in hole 5. We also look forward to the next press release coming with the assays coming for hole 6 that we show in this diagram. These structural zones, this is the type of thing we like to see. This is the feeder zones that make large mines significant operations in Sonora, Mexico. Things like the Las Chispas mine, where we see Silvercrest, or the mine at Mercedes, where we see Equinox mining. Thus, we're very excited for Riverside to be moving ahead with this target and this drilling that we just have now.
Dr. Stouty, in reference to the pending assays, do we have a time frame for those?
We do. We hope to have them in the next 2 to 3 weeks for the next results. They're at the lab. The labs are backed up a bit because it's such a busy time. It's excellent right now, the mineral exploration, and we see there's a good chance for us to have another good hit coming out from this hole 6.
And one more question here for you before we leave here. What's the span difference here?
The span difference here is 30 meters vertical and 60 meters along strike. So we can see that it's a nice cross section. So we're right at the surface. Thus it's wide open. These aren't deep holes. This isn't complicated at all. This is right near the surface. Gold mineralization that's open, so we can follow it further in later drilling.
Let's visit the San Jose, which is the second target area. What can you share with us about the results thus far?
San Jose is immediately to the west of the drilling that we were talking about in hole 5 and hole 6 over here at the North Breccia. About 500 meters up the mountain, up on the top of the ridge, the San Jose target, going north-south, where we have drilled 3 holes, 1, 2, and 3, and also the La Cueva target 4. All 4 of these holes are hitting gold mineralization. We're excited to see this is a second target area at the Cecilia project. As we see in here, we're at the top of a rhyolite dome, and what we can see here in the colors are the different intercepts where we've followed up surface gold and now in drill holes as well. Exciting to have 2 different zones at the Cecilia project coming through with gold mineralization now.
As we leave the Cecilia, what additional activity does Riverside have planned for this year, and what can shareholders expect in reference to news flow as well?
You know, we have good experience working in Mexico, and we're so excited for the work continuing at Cecilia. We'll have the second results, and we look forward to continuing at Cecilia. We also have work going in our Quarentas project, and we'll have news flow coming there. Our big programs going with BHP. We have at least 5 different areas working on copper. We'll have news flow coming from that. We also announced the deal in Canada, and I expect to see news flow in the next month about financing and progressing on our project there. Not financing of Riverside, but with our partner moving ahead on drilling on the assets that Riverside has vended in and keeps a royalty on. So we have lots of news coming in the next 3 months for Riverside.
Let's look at some numbers before we close. Dr. Stouty, please give us an update on the capital structure.
Riverside continues to have a very careful, tight capital structure. Having operated for over 13 years, we have 71 million shares out. We have no warrants. We're tightly structured, really poised for a big upside.
Dr. Stouty, for someone listening that wants to learn more about Riverside Resources, please share the contact details.
Please come to the website. That's RIVRES.com. Or give us a call. We'd love to speak to you. Look forward to catching up.
Dr. Stouty, always a pleasure to speak with you. Wishing you and Riverside Resources the absolute best, sir.
The information presented on Proven and Probable is provided for educational and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, or trading advice, or any other advice. You should not make any financial, investment, or trading decision based on any of the information presented without first undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or competent financial advisor.